Chapter 4. Hiei and Deli woke up to the shudder of Hogwarts students cheering and lollygagging. They jumped up out of bed and ran into the Great Hall, where cowards of people were crowding around a girl. "What is going on here?" Hiei dementored to know. "Wait, that's Bella," said Deli as she peered through the congregation. Just as Deli said, Bella, Edward's girlfriend, was there, and ironically she was giving a speech about why teen parentcy is illegal. "Well, it's a good thing we turned that water into wine," said Hiei, winking at her, and then they took seats in the front. Edward was sitting nearby, and so was Shadow. All the students had to go to this meeting because it was majority for their classes. In the back of the room, Professor Snaps was watching Bella carefully. He did not get the memo about her coming to give a pubic speech, and so from afar he thought that it was Harry Potter's mom. When Bella's speech was over, she walked backyard to board her 2003 Chevy pullover when a bag flew over her head. "I have you now, Lily Ann Potter," he says, and souffles her into the trunk of his Jeep. He sped off into the night. Edward, Gred. Again his senses were tingling in the moment's heat. "Listen, everyone," he said. "We need to save Bella. Something horny has happened to her, and it's up to us to save him." Everyone nodded. "But we need someone who is good with the sword." Hiei was good with combat, but he was feeling fangled from the sex he had with Dali. Since there was no rules, they had sex over 1,000 times, so he did not raise his hands. Instead, he deciphered to make a suggestion box. "I think that Link should do it," asked Hiei. Just then a blonde boy with a green hand and leggings came up upon a griffin. He was wearing a sword and he had pointy ears. He swirled his weeping and slammed it into the ground with his foot. He said, "Let's kick some ass," he said. And then they were on wee way. Snape was fucking the shit out of Bella, but since she was blinded, the bag had punctured her eyes. She thought it was Edward and moaned punctually. Edward bust into the room and saw them making whoopee and had a look of sheer horror on his face. His balls dropped. He could not believe what he was saving. In his head he saw that the Doris de Bella was in danger, but in his yes he was seeing that it was not the chastity at all. Bella was indeed riding Snape's cock with her pussy, and she happy. He ran away as fast as his feet could carry him. "Edward, wait," Dali shouted. She wanted him to come back and see treason because she saw from the way Bella's eyes were gorged that she did not know. But then she remembered Bella was a cunt and told Edward, "I think we should kill them both." So Edward came back into the room while both of them were still humping and attacked Bella first. He sunk his teeth into her neck like the Titanic, and all at once she turned to stone. Dali grabbed Snape's dick and threw it out the window, and then Link stabbed him through the heart and lungs. The scene was messy, blood and guts everywhere.
And Bella and Professor Snape were dead. It was in this step that they knew they could defeat Dumbledore. When Professor Skeleton heard the iPod, he rushed to the show right away. "Fucking goddamn it," he swore. "Now we will need a new teacher again." He thought to himself for a few seconds and then said, "Edward, you can be our new tether," he smeared warmly. Edward was shocked and aroused. "I cannot believe this. It is such a hammer." He accepted the medal and went to class to teach. Since he was a vampire, he knew the most about potions. "This is good news for Ed," said Dali. "All right, gangbang, let's go over who's in our gang. We have Edward, me, Hiei, Link, Shadow the Hedge Mouse, Jack Skeletons, me, and who else?" "I think that we should get Sasuke," said Link. "He is in Gryffindor's, but if we tell him Dumbledore is a pedophile, he will probably want to kill him too." "That's an extortionist idea," said Bella. "I think we should do it." They all ran to the Gryffindor commonplace and barged in on Sasbluk. He was changing and half naked, fangasm. Everyone ran out at once, 'cause it was embarrassing, except Hiei, who came out a few minutes later. "What the hell," Hiei shouted Dali. "Do you like him?" "I don't think so," said Hiei. "It was kinda hot, though." "This is not the fucking point," barged Edward. We need his help, and so it doesn't matter what clothes he's wearing. The Un came back in, and he was closed. What did you want, gays? Said Sasuke. Sorry, I was studying. We need your help to kill a certain pedophile, said Shadow in a low but gruggly voice. You are a ninjask, and therefore good with killing. You also have powers, and a wizard. I will join your team, said Sasuke. He was tying his shoes. When will we go on the missionary? Right fucking now, said Bella, and so they all ran off into the night to defeating the faggot Dumbledore with the powers.